Kansas Republicans just overrode the governor's veto to enact a bill requiring genital inspections on student athletes. These people are sick. Oh, nice. We can add this to the list of far-right anti-youth policies, but this is so creepy and disturbing. I mean, yeah, penis inspection day, baby. Coming to a school near you. Yeah, we just gotta get the PE teachers to look at every fucking student's genitals. You know what I mean? Me when I piss on the penis checker. Well, that kind of happens when you get your physical. Yeah. Think about that for a second. You know, that kind of happens when you get your physical versus like having it happen because you're playing fucking high school or middle school volleyball. And it also happens by a doctor. Don't know who's going to fucking do it at schools. I'm assuming they'll still make a doctor do it. But, you know, you do realize there's like a medical component. Like there's a medical procedure is entirely different. It's literally the same as, bro. It's like, it's like if Ohio passed a bill where they could like do open heart surgery on you. You know what I mean? Well, actually, Sweaty, doctors do open heart surgeries on children all the time. Okay, so they should do that for no fucking apparent reason as well. I mean, I'm exaggerating. Obviously, an open heart surgery is not the same as like fucking penis inspection day. But that is an unreal thing to try and describe. Kansas Republicans just overrode the Democratic governor's veto, enacting a new law that allows for forced genital inspections on children to make sure they're not transgender. Bro, like, I mean, you're a pedophile. I'm sorry. You're just straight up a pedophile. If this is your goal, if this is like the bill you're passing for like the 11 trans children that may or may not be interested in playing like fucking middle school sports, you're just a pedophile. Like, who do you think is going to get hit with this? Anytime a female athlete's performing, cis, trans, doesn't fucking matter. Oh, that's trans. That's a trans athlete. We gotta bring them in. We gotta bring them in for penis inspection day. See if they have a fucking penis. It's like, just think it through. Please. Think it fucking through. Who does this help? Why does that have to happen? Do you think that this is a valid thing to do? Both chambers barely met the 2/3 threshold to override the governor's March veto, the third year in a row, and Kelly rejected the legislation. Kansas is now the 20th state to pass a transgender student athlete ban into law. It sort of breaks my heart, Kelly said. It certainly is disappointing. I know that there's some legislators for whom this was a very, very, very hard vote, and I think that they will regret as they look back. Oh, man, they will regret. Oh, it was really hard for them. Following the House vote, Representative Susan Ruiz, a Shawnee Democrat, stood up and addressed some of the Republican lawmakers who voted for the ban, telling them they were full of shit. The legislation requires children to participate in school activities based on the gender they were assigned at birth from elementary school to college. Challenges could require them to undergo genital inspections or require a birth certificate for the proof of a child's gender. Nice. There are going to be constant transvestigations in every school, despite there only about probably being 5 trans athletes in the whole state. Exactly. Is one of the several pieces of legislation aimed at transgender use across the state, including a proposed Women's Bill of Rights that would ban transgender women from female designated spaces and a bill that would block access to gender-affirming treatment for those under the age of 18. Yeah, this will impact more cis people than it impacts trans people. Do you want to know why? Because there aren't that many fucking trans people out there. There are a lot of cis people, though, and some of these fucking freaks are just going to go, oh, you're trans. Time to do a transvestigation on your fucking 12-year-old daughter. Have fun, Republican parents of 12-year-old daughters who happen to be, athletically competent. An act concerning education related to student athletes created in the Fairness of Women's Sports Act. Oh, my God. Scholastic, intercollegiate, intramural club or athletic teams or sports that are sponsored by a public educational entity or schools or private post-secondary educational whose students' teams compete against public education entities shall expressly designate as one: males, men or boys, females, women or girls, co-ed or mixed. Athletic teams or sports designated for females, women, or girls shall not be open to students of the male sex. Kansas State High School Activities Association shall adopt rules and regulations for its member schools to implement provisions of this section. Any student who is subject to the retaliation or other adverse action by a public educational entity or athletic association or organization and amendments thereto, an employer representative of such public educational entity shall have a private cause of action for injunctive relief, damages, or any other relief available under the law against such public educational entity. So you can fucking sue schools too if there's like a trans athlete. That's nice. Let's see. Any student, all civil actions must be initiated within 2 years after the harm occurred. The harm of having one of two trans athletes in middle school in Kansas participate in an athletic competition alongside cis athletes. When they say the harm, immediately, there's only 3 and 2 are graduating high school. Yeah. No, I'm glad. Jeremy Holiday, spokesman for the Kansas State High School Activities Association, said, of the 106,000 students participating in the organization's sports and activities, only 3 are transgender girls. 2 of those transgender girls are set to graduate this spring. This is yet another instance where they wrote a law specifically owning one trans child. When this was going through Ohio, Columbus dispatched a lot of reporting on it. In a span of 6 years, Ohio only had 35 trans male athletes and 11 trans female athletes. Yeah. 1. This happened in Utah. There was literally 1 girl in the entire state of Utah that was trans. 1. Where does it say who gets to do the fucking penis inspection? I don't see anywhere where it says like medical professionals are doing the examination. Usually the PE teacher does it. Yeah, no shot. Yeah, it says the nearest white male has to do the inspection. No, the nearest white Republican congressperson. Yeah. And the inspection needs to be overseen by the archdiocese as well. It's so weird that they wrote that in there. I don't know what that's about. Yeah, it's like the nearest Republican congressperson does the teenage genital inspection day, and it has to be overseen by the entirety of the priests in the region. So odd. Anyway. Cool stuff. Lots of fun stuff happening in this country. As material conditions deteriorate, especially in red states, people get more and more cool about distractions that shift your attention away from the real problems. You actually have a 60 hertz monitor? No, my actual monitor is not 60 hertz. The monitor in Studio B, the second studio, is 60 hertz though. Okay?